the time and space to give yourself a break. Here you'll find some love, music, laughter, and above all, she'll dare to tell the truth. And so come to Granny's place and give your spirit a big boost.
Welcome to Granny's Place, and yes, you are at Granny's Place, and welcome to the new set. In honor of Halloween, tonight we have a special host for Granny's Place. Instead of the sweet, compassionate, brilliant, but understanding Granny Rocks, we have Madame Mazurka, a dead Transylvanian psychic who shows up from time to time. She looks like Granny Rocks with a scarf on her head, but she's got a personality of her own. She's brutally honest and makes us laugh at ourselves, but we all seem to love her anyway. In fact, viewers clamored for her to come this week, and they addressed their questions to her. So don't worry, all questioners knew what they were getting into when they sent their questions to Madame Mazurka. By the way, Granny Rocks is also known as Beth Green, author of 6 books and 4 CDs of original music. And she's also an intuitively guided counselor, social commentator, pianist, and more. So without further ado, here's Granny Beth Green, Madame Mazurka.
Welcome, darlings. I'm so happy to be here. Very happy to be here. Actually, I've been whispering in Granny's ear. I said, I think I should be here every week. Granny Rocks can do the social commentary. I can answer the questions. And Beth can play the piano.
Ooh, you can play the piano too?
No, Beth can play the piano.
Oh, I see. Beth can play the piano.
So Beth is playing the piano, and Granny is doing the commentary, and I'm answering the questions. I think it's a wonderful idea. So what I want to know is we want comments after you've seen me. Do you want something like that? That's what I'm thinking, but I don't think anybody else cares. But you see, you have to understand that I'm dead, and it's very boring. So I'd only come out when this happens, and I'm kind of antsy. I want to do something. You know, I've had enough rest.
Okay, then. Are you ready for the first question?
Am I? Should we say something about the set?
What would you like to say? I mean, we are doing this program with the grand piano.
Grand, very grand, huge, huge.
It's no baby grand. This is a 7-footer.
Huge.
Huge. This is huge. It's a beautiful
And
piano.
why are we doing that, darling?
We are doing this because this is such a rich quality of sound.
And people
because
asked
it really
for us.
is very penetrating, and people love the sound of this piano.
So Beth did a concert on Sunday
Yeah.
called Without a Net, and people loved the piano, even though it's crazy. She improvises music. It's completely crazy, but they loved it. And they said, oh, can't you play the piano on Granny's place? But you can't have the camera here and the camera there at the same. We don't have a production budget with all kinds of cameras and people. So you either have to got me in the face, see, playing the piano, or you get to have the other one up with the other set, you see, where you actually can see the keys and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not playing a piano, I'm playing the digital keyboard. So we want to know about that too. So how do you feel about this? So you see, we are making this a co-creation. Not that we're going to listen to you, but at least we want to know what you think. Okay.
Are you ready for the first question? Are
they ready for me?
This is a doozy.
Okay, doozy.
This is a real test of your dead psychic abilities.
Okay, okay.
So this is from Stacy. Dear Madam M, do any of my dead relatives or friends have a message or messages for me? Thank you.
Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, spooky! All the dead people are going to come out and they're going to get you. Actually, it's the living people you have to be afraid of, darling, not the dead people. They can't do nothing to you. Actually, dead people are just as stupid as living people because they're just people who died. So they have nothing brilliant to tell you. The only thing they have to say, stop worrying about what your dead relatives would tell you and do what you think is right. What do you care if some dead relative, they weren't smart then, they aren't smarter now. So go ahead and live your life. That's what I have to say.
Very good point. Very good point.
You see, I'm going to get through these questions fast. Granny Rocks, she says, well, on the one hand, and on the other hand, and on the third hand, and the 17th hand, but not me.
You just cut right through it.
I do. I'm not afraid.
Okay,
Thank you for your question, Stacy.
Okay, here we go. The next question is from Helen. Dear Madam Mazurka, what words of wisdom do you have for us in the current world and political situation? What can we do to help support conscious evolution in such a polarized world? And thanks for coming to visit us. We love you.
For some reason, I want you to read that one. Not that I didn't hear you. I want you should read that again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dear Madam Mazurka, what words of wisdom do you have for us in the current world and political situation?
Stop there.
Okay.
Just for a moment.
Okay.
And then I want you to, you should read me the second part.
Okay.
It is almost impossible to be wise in this current situation because nobody wants wisdom. How can you be wise when nobody wants it? You can say, oh, there, you can say the brilliant thing. You can say the perfect thing, and nobody's listening to you. So if you think you're going to get anywhere by being wise, you are joking for yourself. So that's that is the first thing I'm going to say. Now, you want to make yourself feel better? You're going to go out and say wise things. But so you said you wanted words of wisdom from me about you.
Yes.
But you see, you really want some words of wisdom for yourself so you can go out into the world and be wise. And actually, anybody who's wise today looks stupid, looks impotent, because they are not getting mementos. Wrong word.
Close.
Close. So, darling, what I'm saying to you is, first of all, you've got to realize in this miserable world and in this miserable political climate, you have anything wise to say, you're going to look like a fool. So, the first thing, I guess this is my first word of wisdom, huh?
Yeah.
Don't try to look wise. Try to look foolish. I hope you understood what I said. Did you understand what I said?
Yes, I did. To be wise is to look foolish. So
That's
go ahead
right.
and try to look foolish.
Exactly, and then you'll be wise.
And you'll be fine.
Okay, go ahead.
And so, what can we do to help support conscious evolution in such a polarized world?
And wait, there's
And
something.
thanks for coming to visit us, and we love you.
She loves me. She hadn't heard the answer yet, but she loves me, or she did love me when she wrote this. So what can we do to help support conscious evolution in such a polarized world? Well, the first thing I have to say to you, darling, is you've already answered your question. You are trying to support conscious evolution. That's what you do. Now, is that going to make the world less polarized? Probably not right away. or maybe even ever, because we don't even know if the world is going to last long enough for all your good workers to show up. You know, sometimes you plant a seed and then it grows, and then you have the oak tree and it's 200 years later, right? Well, then you don't have 200 years from the seed to the oak. It gets whatever the word would be if it was, if I could speak English better, cut off, like truncated. Trunk tree, right?
Oh, yeah.
Trunk.
Oh, yeah.
So you get a little sprig there and you're looking at that and you're saying, but I thought I was planting an oak tree and this is all there is? Oh my God. So the first thing you got to know is you don't have much chance here the way it is, but you can try, right? So you look and you plant your little seed of conscious evolution, which I think you already know how to do. Help people to understand themselves, help to look within. Actually, Granny Rocks is very good with that, and so is Beth's counselor. But, and then don't look for the oak tree. Be happy if any little schmitchik is growing up from the ground. So those are my words of wisdom, which probably made me look very foolish. And try to be happy with who you are.
Love the piano music. I feel better already.
Do you really?
I
I
feel-
just felt I couldn't help
I feel
myself.
very peaceful.
I didn't even know that I played the piano.
Oh, ho, ho. How about that?
That must be Beth.
Maybe
I
it is.
must be channeling Beth. She thinks she's channeling me, but I'm channeling her.
Ooh.
Ooh. Go ahead.
Okay, this next
I
question.
feel better.
You do feel better
I
too.
do. I feel better. Okay.
Yeah. This next question is from Christine. This is from Madam Mazurka. First of all, yay! I'm happy you are here, Madam M. My question is, am I like you? I would like to have your piercing insight. Why? Maybe you could help me with that answer too. Love, Christine. Hugs and kisses.
Ooh, you want to know why you want to have my piercing insight? Is that that's what she asked me,
Yeah,
right? Let me make sure this is
Yeah,
recording.
yeah. Am I like...
Is that recording? Wake that thing up.
well, let's...
It seems to be sleeping, but it's recording. I have to say, this is all new. Oh God, we were up all night, half the night, trying to figure out how to make this work. It's not easy. You better love it. If you don't love it.
But it's okay for you to be up all night because you don't need sleep.
That's right, I don't. But him. But Beth does. Beth, who has to bring in Granny Rocks, who now has to bring in Madame Mazurka, it's like 3 times removed. This is not so simple. Okay, so you want to...
So first she asks, am
Yeah.
I like you? I would like to have your piercing insight. And then, why? Maybe you could help me with that answer too.
Well, are you like me? If I were being a little snot-nosed, which I'm perfectly capable of being, I would say, if you were like me, you would already know. Because you couldn't stop yourself from opening your mouth and being honest. Now, however, you could be almost like me. You could have the piercing inside. But you could maybe repress it because you're scared of people, or you want to succeed in life and you don't want to look foolish. Like I just said, say if you want to be wise, you got to look foolish, right? Because only fools step in where angels fear to tread. Correct?
Oh yeah, that happens.
So, you could be almost like Madame Mazurka in the sense that you may have very piercing insight, which let me see. I think you're maybe not at this level of piercing, but don't worry. You're still alive, so, maybe after you're dead, you'll develop it. So don't even worry about that. But you have some piercing inside, but if you were like me, you wouldn't care. Not that you wouldn't care, but you wouldn't shrink. So if you want, so I think the real question you're asking me is, why do you want to be like me, right?
Yeah, that's
well,
the
that's
last one.
because you don't like the shrink wrap. You're not that kind of person. You don't like, when you're shrinking, you don't like you. So that's the reason you're asking, because you want to feel better about yourself, right? So you could be like me, but you have to stop caring about what other people think about you. So you have the potential to be more like me. And I think the reason you want to be is because you believe that you would like yourself better. So, give it a whirl. And I love you too. I'm so glad that she's one of the persons who actually asked me to come, which shows you what piercing insight she already has.
Right? Okay. The next question is from a semi-anonymous viewer whose initials are AB. Hi, Madame Mazurka. I'm 44 and in a committed relationship with a true partner for the first time in my life. Recently, the question has come up for us about having a child, although neither of us is attached to it happening, and we are realistic due to my age. We feel we want to try. We both love kids and feel this is an experience of life that we have always wanted. We also know that this is a major life decision and that our lives will never be the same if we do become parents. I'd love to hear what you and your centuries of wisdom have to share with us. Love, A.B.
Well, darling, my scarf's off to you. I don't like children. I'm glad that there are people in the world who do. And I think that only people who like children should have them. So you have a check mark in the most important category is, do you like children? People have children. They don't like children. They're doing it for themselves. They're saying, oh, I'm not a complete woman if I don't have a children. You see what I'm saying? Or how will I look to everybody around me? Or I look selfish because I really don't want to sacrifice anything for children. So this is, well, but you see, there's more, because you can say, well, I have to like children and I have to be willing to make the sacrifice to have the children, but that's the part, you don't have the answer. So you still have check here, not so check there yet. You're kind of, I would say, you're wavering between no and maybe on the am I willing to make the sacrifice department. On the like children, you're in the yes. On the am I willing to make the sacrifices, you're in between the
yes and the no?
Between the no and the maybe.
Oh,
see, she's not even between yes and no. So you need to look at deep why you want to have them and is it worth it to you. Now there's another piece of this I have to say. I must be honest, right?
Yeah.
We have too many children on the planet. Way too many children. Now, if you have 2 children, you're reproducing too many people. Too many people on the planet. People should stop having so many children. We have to shrink, not grow, because we are pigs. Humanity is taking up all the resources of the planet and doesn't want any self-control. It's like more resources. So if we had a world that made any sense, the people who like children would have them and take care of them. The people who don't like the children wouldn't have them. That would already cut it down way. But of course, a lot of people, they think they love children, but they really love to look at themselves in the mirror and say, oh, I'm so good looking. Oh, look at that child. She looks just like me. Look at that boy. He's a chip off the old blockade. It's the whole thing, you see. So what? So you see, a lot of people have the children for the wrong reason, and as I said before, they're pleasing somebody. I have a biological destiny. I must have the children, and this is important, and everybody will say, well, are you having any children? And you have to say, well, of course. Oh, this is great news. I'm pregnant. What makes it great news? I want to know that. Who says it's great news that we're adding 1 more human being or 2 more human beings or 6 more human beings? But oh, congratulations. Like you've just found the cure for cancer. No, you did what you did. We know what you did. And now, it doesn't mean you can't be happy. But of course, you're not happy having children. You are happy at getting pregnant. That's a very different thing, to be happy getting pregnant and to actually be happy having the children. So we have to start looking long-term. Long-term, too many people on the planet. Long-term, are you happy to be pregnant? It's like people who get married. Oh, congratulations, you get engaged. Congratulations, that's wonderful. Is it wonderful? Is it a lousy marriage you're going to have? It's like, oh, but now I get to have the ring. Oh, and I'm going to fulfill my dream of walking down the aisle in a white dress. I did the same thing, darling, in my version. It wasn't a white dress then. But, we've all done that. I'm not saying I actually got married, but I'm telling you that I have a sniff of the whole thing. And, you get to show off and all of that stuff. So you're happy. So congratulations, you're engaged is different. See, it's like, oh, you have fulfilled your childhood fantasy to get engaged. So people do that with pregnant. Oh, you have fulfilled your childhood fantasy of being pregnant. Oh, yuck. I'm nauseated. I haven't slept in a year when they come along and all of that stuff. So we have to really think very carefully. That's why I said you have to really think about what you're willing to give up. And when I was saying that we have to think big picture, who should be having children? Nobody's allowed to ask that question. You can't do that because you are impinging on my freedom to have children at anybody's price. The consequences to everybody doesn't make any difference. So don't worry, my 74-year-old mother will take care of it when I go out skiing. See, it's like, oh, she loves it. Oh, she wants to be a grandmother, so she's going to tell you that it's perfectly fine that she'll babysit, and she wants to, but actually her feet hurt, and that means that, and she's got a backward mentality. You really don't want your children around her, but no, you don't want to say that because this is going to blow the whole picture. I don't know. If I lose my scarf, I'll disappear and go back into the grave, so I have to keep adjusting it so it stays up. So there's a lot to think about. And the other thing is, of course, and you already know that, what kind of world are you bringing that child into? Would it be better for you to be putting your energy into making it a better world for all the children that are already here? I'm not talking about being a big sister or adopting. I'm talking about the world that we live in. This is the big question, because I can see you're a very conscious person. You see, everything is I finally have a partner, which I can understand. And I really would like to do this. And I really would like to do that. But now you put yourself in a space capsule and look down at this mess that you call human consciousness. And you say, should I be putting my energy into satisfying my desire to have a child? Or should I put my energy into changing the world that and all the other children are going to live in? And can I do both? See, maybe you can. So I have answered a question with a question. Some people have thought that I'm really Jewish, but it could be, but I'm not saying. It's getting too dangerous to be Jewish these days, even though I'm not a billionaire. And in fact, it's too dangerous to be any kind of a minority. But I will tell you that dead people are not in the minority. So actually, I'm in the majority, but there's not much that we can do.
Not much.
All I can do is talk. So I didn't answer your question, but I did answer your question, because when you can check off all the boxes and you know those answers, then you will know what your answer really is. And I think I have another question, but
yes, one more
we're
question.
Out of time.
We only have 1 minute left.
So we're out of time. So that means I have to come back, because there was another question
There is.
for Granny Rocks. So,
looks like we'll be having you back, Madam Mazurka.
well, I don't know, because I don't think that she can handle it.
Oh,
The other one. So I want you, but the Granny, I don't know. Maybe I'll even be on tonight at the Granny's
the kitchen,
kitchen.
the
It's
Granny's
Granny's
kitchen.
kitchen, not Madame Mazurka's kitchen, but I could be in it, where everybody gets together and talks about the show and the topics. The Granny rips on the news that she's going to be doing, also that she does before the show, so everybody gets to talk, and and then be contradicted and really be challenged, and it's wonderful. So that's 7:15 Pacific time. There's so much noise. I hope you don't hear it.
And then the Granny Raps on the News starts at 6:15 Pacific.
Granny Raps on the News is 6:15, darling, exactly as you say, Pacific time, on this very Facebook page. And then you can join us for
Granny's
every
Place.
week. Every week it's like that.
Yes.
So, because you've already seen Granny Raps on the News, but if you haven't seen it, you can go watch it on YouTube on the Granny Rocks TV.
Yeah.
So, anyway, darling, I think I've covered
This is
everything.
it.
We want to hear from you. Please
Yes.
put in your comments. Do you like the new set with the piano? Do you want to go back to the way it was? The way it was. And do you want more of Madame Mazurka? And if you do, are you willing to actually listen to her answers? Or would you rather head for the hills and get back Granny Rocks?
Well, okay then. I guess that's a wrap.
It's a rip-up. In fact, I
It's a
didn't
rip-up.
get to play the piano nearly as much as I thought that the time ran away from us.
It did, didn't it?
It
But we had a good time.
I had a good time. Please invite me back, or I'll stay dead. We remember Tinkle Bell.
Tinkle Bell.
Wasn't that Tinkle Bell? You have
Yeah.
to do something, believe in order for Tinkle Bell to live.
Yeah.
But
something
not
like that.
really, because I have other things to do if you don't want me. I can go haunt someone else. Have a happy Halloween. And look at all the archivos on the Granny Rocks TV on YouTube.
Thank you, Madame Mazurka. And thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Bye-bye.